May vary. Online health questions required.
A doctor who had ruffled some feathers at the FDA is no longer leading the agency as that continues to be a change in the Trump administration. This is Dr. Marty Makary, who is on his way out at the FDA.
The head of the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Marty Makary, is stepping down a little more than a year after taking over the regulatory agency.
You know, he's a great doctor, and he was having some difficulty, but he's going to go on and he's going to do well.
President Trump says the agency's deputy will take over as acting FDA commissioner. Makary drew criticism from some allies of President Trump, who accused Makary of slow-walking approval of some drugs and refusing to put new limits on mifepristone, an abortion medication that has been on the market for 25 years. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, down for the Dow, up for the NASDAQ before another inflation report due out this hour on wholesale prices. In the NHL playoffs, overtime drama.
Michael looking across the barbershop. Deflection.
That goal wanted for Vegas on ESPN, beating Anaheim 3-2 to go up 3 games to 2. 3-2 also the score in Buffalo's Game 4 win over Montreal, tying that series. In the NBA playoffs, the Spurs win in a blowout, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves 126-97, giving San Antonio a 3-2 series lead. Meanwhile, the NBA is in mourning with the death of a player.
Brandon Clark, who was a first-round draft pick in 2019 by the Thunder, then traded to the Grizzlies, spent all 7 of his NBA seasons with Memphis. Injuries limited his play over the last 3 seasons. LAPD told ABC News Brandon Clark died from a possible drug overdose.
That's Fox's Jared Max. Clark was only 29 years old. A former player also being mourned, Jason Collins, dead of brain cancer at age 47. He became famous in 2013, coming out as the first player in any major sport to come out as gay. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Wednesday. It is May 13th, 2026. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz. Jason Caterina on standby. We're going to have to find something else to talk about because we know the weather, like for the next 1, 2, 3, at least the next 4 days. Temperature should be mid-90s. The rain is gone from the forecast. We'll talk about this in about 3 minutes on our AccuWeather conversation. So join us and find us on your smartphone. Radio Para Mi is the free app. That way you can listen on your smartphone. So here we go. The first Starship launch of the year is scheduled for early next week. SpaceX reportedly held a successful launch rehearsal yesterday at Starbase. The Starship V3 is reportedly the tallest rocket ever assembled and is expected to launch from a new pad at Starbase. SpaceX saying that it's the world's most powerful reusable rocket. It could be key for NASA's plans to return astronauts to the moon. The SV3 launch window opens next Tuesday evening. Vote results from the recent local election, May 2nd election. They were canvassed this week. And after a close vote to avoid a runoff, developer Michael Fallick is set to become the commissioner for District 5, City of McAllen. Fallick will be sworn in at the next meeting for McAllen commissioners. For the state legislative session 2027, it seems that water is top priority.
Lawmakers have been tasked with looking at the amount of water used by data centers, which are popping up everywhere. Environmental groups want them to do the same thing with coal-fired power plants, which are using 34 billion gallons a year.
This is a massive amount of water. This is water that gets evaporated out, that is gone from the system.
Noah Verbeek with the Sierra Club says there's over 400 data centers in the state right now. They currently consume just 8 billion gallons of water a year. Some are looking to create their own power supplies, but he says they're focusing on wind and solar, not coal.
Michael Board reporting. 2 tech giants, one of them just down the street. They're working together. Maybe put some data centers in space.
Together, Google and SpaceX are interested in putting AI data centers into orbit, but the Wall Street Journal reports it's not a done deal yet. It's also unclear if the idea is profitable. Space may be the only option for data centers, however, as a new Gallup survey finds 48% of Americans strongly oppose having one built in their area. Word of the talks between the two companies comes as SpaceX prepares for its IPO later this year. I'm Rory O'Neill.
And a look at the job market and opinions between ages. young workers in our country, they seem to feel much less positive about the job market compared to older workers.
A new Gallup World poll finds 43% of Americans between 15 and 34 think it's a good time to find a job. That's compared to 64% of those 55 and older. The only other places where a similar pattern exists are China, Hong Kong, Serbia, the United Arab Emirates, and Norway. There are other countries where young people are less optimistic, but older adults in those places share a similar outlook. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
It's 7:09. It is AccuWeather time. A big thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. Balanced mineral nutrition for your herd. Have you heard about Martin Farm and Ranch? Stop by, say hi to Dougie from us, and get the nutrition that your pets and your animals need. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Katarina joining us. And I
Sorry.
Bless you, buddy. I said we're going to have to find something else to talk about, so we better have something on the national calendar.
Yeah, no kidding.
We got like low to mid 90s today, tomorrow, the next day, going into the weekend, so on and so forth. Quick check, 7-day or 5-6 day forecast. What do the computers tell you?
Let's see. I looked all out in the next week, and it's really quiet until maybe next Monday night. There could be a thunderstorm in parts of the area. Monday night, Tuesday into Wednesday, there's the chance for some thunderstorms around, even into Thursday. So
okay, all right.
A little something, coming up here in middle of next week.
Well, that's all that. That's a tail end of something, right? Tail end of a cold front. North.
It certainly looks like it.
Yeah.
With the winds, although the winds aren't really shifting a whole lot, to tell you the truth. Like, I'd expect them to move into the northwest, but they're sticking in the southeast. So maybe that's some other sort of low that develops, and we'll have to watch and see how that plays out.
All right. That's a week away.
Yeah.
We have plenty of time to make adjustments to that. Are you red flagging anything, Central Texas, San Antonio area, Central Texas, and Houston, Dallas for travel?
Yeah, nothing. It's just all super quiet today. Nice and quiet. A little hot that way, but other than that, well, not hot for you, and not considering what it is for you guys. It's not going to be as hot as you guys are.
What, you keep bringing that cloud cover and keep the temperatures in the 90s. We'll be good for a while. Let's see here. As far as national day, as I said, the AccuWeather forecast, mid-90s, low to mid-90s today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The national calendar for today, we are celebrating, let's see who we celebrate, the overnighters. I've never asked you, when does your shift begin over at AccuWeather? Like at 2 in the morning?
3:30.
About the same time we start. So that would be like the middle of the third shift, I think.
Oh, I've done overnights. It's God bless folks that do overnights, man. That is, and it's been scientifically proven to shorten your lifespan working the overnight shift for a long period of time. So it's tough, man. I did it at the lab I worked at I worked at a flour mill for a while. FLOUR, not FLOWER, in the lab there. And that overnight shift is tough.
Yeah, it is. You look at Jason Katarina. He looks like he's in his 40s. He's at like mid-20s. We celebrate the overnight workers, and good morning and a strong hug to all the gang. We got plenty of nurses and folks at some medical, law enforcement worked overnight, some folks at other types of manufacturing coming back from Mexico. So a big hug to all the overnighters. Thank you for tuning in to KURV. We celebrate you today with, okay, Jason, we'll talk to you next hour. I know he's got to go.
Okay.
We celebrate you with some apple pie. A la mode. You deserve the ice cream. Little scoop of ice cream. Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Coming up in about 3-4 minutes, a conversation with Dante Gagliazzi. He's the chief of the Texas Growers Produce Association. So we'll speak with him, get a status report. We're starting up watermelon season, and also look back to the massive convention he had just a few days back in San Antonio. Anything come from that? Water issues and what next season might be for everybody growing something in South Texas if we can replenish the watershed. That's coming up in just a few minutes on 710 KURV. Affecting your pocketbook, consumer prices jumped more than expected in April. 3.8% is the annual rate. That's the annual cadence we're on right now, 3.8% compared to 3.4% last month. If you take out energy, take out fuel, take out diesel from that, it's 2.8%. eBay rejecting GameStop's takeover bid.
The auction site called GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen's unsolicited $56 billion proposal neither credible nor attractive. Among the concerns eBay cited included the uncertainty regarding the video game retailer's financing proposal. GameStop had said it had a $20 billion financing commitment along with $9 billion in cash, leaving a big funding gap. Cohen previously told CNBC he was ready to take his offer directly to shareholders if eBay rejected the proposal. I'm at Mattinson.
Time is 7:14. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KQRV. We're watching all the cable TV news feeds right now. President Trump is wheels down in Beijing. Not only that, I think he's already aboard his vehicle. Huge welcoming contingent, bunch of people waving flags. So he's on the ground in Beijing for the big business recruitment conversation with Xi Jinping. Up next on 710 KQRV, economic status report for ag in South Texas and the state with the Produce Association next on the Valley's Morning News.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. Try the all-new energy refreshers, strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks. If expanding your footprint is on the agenda this year, consider the strategic advantages of Harlingen, Texas, your gateway to the entire Rio Grande Valley. The Harlingen Economic Development Corporation is ready to support your launch, relocation, or expansion with tailored resources designed to move your business forward. Located in the heart of the valley, Harlingen offers a powerful vantage point for reaching customers and markets across the region. As a designated hub city, it delivers all four modes of transportation: road, rail, air, and water, giving companies unmatched logistical flexibility and quick, low-congestion access into Mexico through the Los Indios International Bridge, providing a clear edge for manufacturing and distribution. From renewable energy and aerospace to logistics, healthcare, advanced manufacturing, back office operations, and retail, opportunity is built into the foundation of Harlingen. Explore what's possible at harlingenedc.com. That's harlingenedc.com.
We're the Rio Grande Valley's home for Houston Astros baseball. We're News Talk 710 KURV.
I want to say thank you to Rioplex Industry Recruitment. Big thank you to Joaquin Spummer and crew. Also, Teclo Garcia over at Mission Economic Development. They make it possible for the Sergio Show. Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Mission Event Center. We'll be there talking about the economy and job creation in the region at the Governor's Small Business Economic Expo. Economic update for our region. We're looking at South Texas growers ag and our friend Dante Galeazzi. Every time I see his name, I get a hankering for some pasta. Every time I speak with him. He's president and CEO for the Texas International Produce Association. Welcome back to the program, Dante. Hey, if I don't ask you now, I'm going to forget. Rewind just a few days back. You had that massive, awesome convention, Viva Fresh up in San Antonio. Quick recap, who came, any new business from it? Give me a report.
Yeah, man. So first off, Sergio, love being on. Thank you. And you guys were there. Thank you for coming. Man, it was a great event. We had 2,900 people, most we've ever had attend a Viva Fresh. It was fantastic. Feedback still coming in, how great it was. I mean, it's our chance to really go out there and shine, not just in Texas, but across North America, right? We had our Texas growers. We had our guys bringing produce from Mexico in. We had our folks that bring the stuff in through the Port of Houston, and they were selling to everybody, and it was awesome. It was a fantastic event.
Any new business come from it? New contacts?
Oh, for sure. We heard a lot of people talk about the new contracts they have, how great it was to meet with suppliers or vendors. And that's really what that show is about. It's about connection. It's about networking and doing it under the banner of Texas hospitality.
All right. that Viva Fresh next year, Lord willing, will be back in San Antonio.
That's
And
right.
we hope for a very profitable show next year for our growers and also like secondary market, like they prepare like all sliced up product as well. I found that fascinating. A lot of retailers there participating in the show. Do you happen to know what the economic footprint is for all the folks that you represent? Because it's not only the Valley. I mean, you were telling us from pecans and nuts and seeds and other parts of the state, Piney Woods, West Texas. You represent so many different growers in the area. What is the muscle? What is the economic muscle of all the industry in Texas?
Right. So that muscle for both the $1 billion grown in Texas and the $13 billion that we import from Mexico translates to a little over, I think it's $28 billion. So roughly, if you look at it, that means for every dollar you put into the production system for fruits and vegetables, whether it's grown in Mexico or here in Texas, you get $2 back. So it is an investment. It is a benefit for us to support agriculture, not just in Texas, but in our corridor.
Well, I'm glad you review those numbers, because the reason I reached out to you for an update, but also Texas A&M came out with a report just a few days ago. They said that the lack of cold weather in Texas negatively affected so many different crops in the state. Do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, so this is a bit of a tale of two cities, right? So the cold weather has been a benefit down here in South Texas because it's allowed us to go longer with our vegetable season. It's allowed the onions to go longer. It's been helpful to the watermelons, right? Because normally we're in 90-degree, 100-degree days. So the fact that we've been in these 80s helps us extend that season. The flip side is when you talk about the guys doing apples up in North Texas and the Panhandle, our guys doing fruit in Central Texas, the blueberry guys, they're getting much cooler temperatures than they're supposed to be having. So that's slowing down their season. And so again, it's you got to benefit in one region, you've got to draw back in the other region.
The fruit needs some fruit. They would benefit from the cold, and we didn't have that much cold in Texas this year. Like, how does the cold benefit, like apples, oranges, things like that?
Yeah, so it's so for the oranges, it's beneficial, but really for your stone fruit. So the things that got the pit in the middle, like your peaches, right, or your apples, those really want to have some cold weather, because what it does is it causes that tree to stress itself, right, to establish a strength, and that strength ends up radiating from the tree all the way out to the pieces of fruit at the very end. And I realize there's going to be a ton of the ag professors out there. They're going to say, Dante, you did a terrible job at oversimplifying it, but I'm trying to help the listeners understand it from a position they could speak to anyone about it.
Yes, sir. Layman's terms, man. I'm not a farmer. My grandparents were, but man, the amazing disconnect in just a generation, man. I wish they would have passed down something to me as far as growing stuff. I got no green thumb, man. I hit my thumb with a hammer. I got a purple thumb. That's the best I can hope for these days. So does the lack of the cold mean a potential loss either in quality, or will it just be, negligible for the Texas crop this year? What do you think?
I don't want to say negligible, but what it does is it reduces the yield. That means it reduces the total output. Fruit's still going to taste great. It just may not be as large. You might have a lot of those medium sizes. But overall, what it's going to do is, especially in fruit, you got to have those cold hours, because that pushes the tree to create more blooms, which promotes the more blooms means more pieces of fruit. So
there we go. Dante Gagliazzi, he is tip of the spear. He's the chief over the Texas International Produce Association. You were telling me that right now for our growers, it's watermelon season for us. Are we like the top area of the state for watermelon, or who leads Texas when it comes to producing watermelon?
Yeah, so the Rio Grande Valley used to be a huge spot for watermelon. I mean, we used to do somewhere between 6,000 to 8,000 acres of watermelon down here in the valley. Unfortunately, with water, we've had to trim way back on that, so we're not quite the largest producing region anymore. Our friends out in West Texas really hold that honor now. And Texas watermelons, we used to grow something like 40,000 acres of melons throughout the state. In the last few years, water shortages has unfortunately dialed us back. It's still our largest crop, but it's probably only coming in at between 25,000, 30,000 acres versus that 40,000 number. So significant turn down on that.
Is there a way to come back, turn the corner on this? I mean, I'll ask you because Judd Flowers, God bless you, Judd. Thank you for sending us to San Antonio for Viva Fresh. He was among several. Jimmy Garza, the Far International Bridge, our museum, among the many folks who sent us out there to have conversations with him. But Judd Flowers was explaining to me how in citrus, and we know how devastated they were as a result of nasty cold fronts and just wiped out. And of course, then you got all these what are the citrusillid, all these things that they fight. So, but they're planting. There's like new acreage out there with young trees. Like maybe in several years will provide some for their turning the corner. Can we do the same for melon, watermelon? Like turn things around.
Yeah, absolutely. Sergio, these things happen in ebbs and flows. It's cyclical, right? I mean, but we got to have the resources available. And so that means we've got to have the water to plant first and foremost. We got to have the labor to harvest it. That's an ongoing challenge. And we've got to see supportive markets. And that's really been one of the challenges, right? Is these last few years, our production has been down, 30% kind of across the board due to water shortages. And so on top of that, we've had some low markets for different commodities. I mean, onions last year towards the end of the season, they were between $6 to $8 a bag for 50 pounders. I mean, that's tough when it costs you $7 plus to put those onions in the bag.
Oof.
Thankfully, Lord willing, we continue to see some stronger markets like we've experienced this year. We're also seeing that the prices in the grocery stores are starting to go up. That's a good thing. We'd love to see more movement there because that helps translate to wins for the farmers. There's no end to shortages. Your listeners are paying the price of fuel right now, right? Our guys in ag are paying the same challenges. You need a truck to haul all that produce out of the field to the warehouse to clean it up. Then you need a truck to carry it from the warehouse to the grocery store. All those truck drivers are paying more in fuel right now. I mean, it cost $800 more in April last year than it did the year before to take a truck from South Texas to New York. And that's not profit. That's just his fuel bill was $800 more. And that's gotta go somewhere, right?
Yeah. Don't go to the end consumer at some point. Go to the middleman, each other. Dante Galeazzi, CEO, Texas International Produce Association. Watermelons, real quick, give me the minute explanation. How do you know they're sweet? And I've told you, I buy the ones that are sliced up at HE Butt, that are super red and they have a little give. You feel the water pellets bursting. That's why I know it's sweet. But how do you buy like a whole watermelon and you know it's sweet? What do you do?
Listen, I'm gonna lean into my friends at the Texas Watermelon Association who always do such a good job talking about this. The best thing to do is, number one, look at that watermelon and make sure there's a good distinction between dark green and light green stripes. Number one. Number two, roll it over. You want to
stop. Dark green and light green. Which one needs to be thicker? And what's the distance between the lines?
That's all right. You don't gotta worry about the thickness. You don't gotta worry about the spacing. You just want to make sure it is a distinction. It's very distinct.
Okay.
You have a bright and a dark.
Okay.
Because that's how the melon grows, right? Internally. So you want good distinction between the stripes. Think tigers. Okay, number one. Number two, roll that baby over. Make sure there's a nice, bright yellow spot. That's where the watermelon sat on the dirt or sat on the ground. You want a good, bright spot because that shows you the distinction between where the melon started and where it got the color it needs. Number three, you want to pick it up. Should be a little heavy. Number four, give it a little thump, right? You don't want it to sound like you're hitting a snare drum, right? You want it to sound a little solid. And that means that the watermelon has really got juice in it. It means that it's really formed very well and you don't have hollowness. And so that's how you know you got a good watermelon.
All right. I'll ask my 13-year-old to slap my belly like he does every now and then. Say, it's a watermelon, Dad. It's a watermelon. Okay, I'll see what that sounds like. See if I can find a similarity. I heard one time that webbing or scratching on it was also a good indication.
Webbing and scratching can be good. I mean, it's natural. That happens from that scratching or webbing is just from the side of the plant, just kind of blowing against it in the South Texas wind.
I got producer Freddie asking a great question because we're starting watermelon season now, right?
We've already started. Yes, sir.
Would it be best to wait towards the end of the season, give them a chance to, right, stay on the ground, right? Because you're asking for about sweetness, right? Stay on the ground a little longer, wait till the end of the season to get the fruit, and you know it's going to be, or halfway through to the end, that way you know you're getting all sweet. Or
Listen,
okay?
fruits and vegetables are like kids, right? They mature at different rates at different times due to different factors. Your watermelons are going to be the same way. The ones on the outside of the row are going to mature faster than the ones in the middle of the row because they're getting more sun versus the other ones. So throughout the season, your Texas farmer is always going to make sure he's got you the right melon out there.
Okay. So they're sending to market what they think is best based on when they planted and all that. Okay.
That's exactly right. And they'll go into that field 2 or 3 times to get the right melon out. They're not going to clean the whole melon that first time they go through.
Yeah.
Or the whole field.
Dante, I need to ask you, and I'm sorry, I can only give you like a minute for this. We're hoping and praying that the water reservoir is replenished. We get a tropical system there. If it does, and let's say at the present 25%, we're up to 75% or 80, 90%. Let's say we start the next season late next year, early next year, late this year, early next year. We got a lot of water at the watershed. Might that change the makeup, the acreage, and the type of fruit that goes into the ground
Absolutely.
next year? Okay. What do you think would happen?
If we were to get a massive event and put water in that watershed, we would see our acreage climb back up. We would see a diversification of commodities. You would see different melon varieties. You'd see things like celery, broccoli, cauliflower would come back into production. You would see our guys really ramp back up. They'd be rehiring. I might be going a step too far, but knowing they had water and they could go, they might even start making some investments they've been holding off on for years because the lack of surety for the future.
Oh, Lord. From Dante's lips to your ears, Father God, please, please make it happen this year. Dante, thank you, brother, for being a phone call away, and keep in touch, man. Let me know towards the end of the watermelon season or when you need to come back to talk about other seasons.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Right? Thank you, Dante. Dante Gagliazzi is CEO of the Texas International Produce Association. This is the morning news. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Also at Radio Para Mí. That's a free app. Go get it. Listen to 710 KURV. The station is the only radio station for Astros baseball. I wonder if it's the only one left in the radio network. Pobrecitos, they're hurting right now. Go Astros. Sports next on 710 KURV. Make the call today or text message. Good folks at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Yeah, look at that. It's in the name. Waterproofing. Your business, making sure that commercial roofing system of yours doesn't send some water down at you or your clients or your expensive equipment. Chamberlain has almost 130 years of experience. I know this through a couple of conversations I've had. We had some podcast conversations. They posted those on KURV.com. First, on how they cross-train everybody. Everybody knows at Chamberlain, they all know the different systems. They'll make sure everybody gets cross-trained. They're experts in all these different systems. And safety is the culture. It's the obsession, the culture. Safety among everybody. Make sure that you are protected as well. As the good folks said, go up to your commercial roofing system for free. Yeah, these top experts, the top experts in commercial roofing in this entire region, will visit your sites, your commercial sites, your warehouses, free. Go check, see, give you an expert report on the condition of your commercial roof. I think that's an awesome value that way you know what to do near future. Cutting edge, state-of-the-art installation, roof repair, installation technology, advanced waterproofing solutions. Chamberlain Roofing, waterproofing, 956-655-6178.
They said copies for a penny couldn't be done. We said, watch us. Total Imaging Solutions. We're flipping the script on printing. Whether you're a small business or a big operation, it doesn't matter. If you need a printer or copier, Total Imaging Solutions has the right printer for you. You get the printer for a simple monthly fee and copies, just a penny or less a page. No ink or toner charges. No surprise service fees, just clear, honest pricing. And if your old printer's slowing you down, we'll trade it out and level you up. Whether you print just a couple of copies a day or need the next New York Times press, we can help. Plus, if anything ever breaks, our team will have you up and running in under 4 hours. Easy printing, fast service, real savings. That's the Penny or Less revolution. Call 956-664-2113 or visit copiesforapenny.com. That's copiesforapenny.com. Total Imaging Solutions, helping your business one penny at a time.
Your Houston Astros host the Seattle Mariners. Tune in tonight. First pitch at 7:10. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The San Antonio Spurs earned a critical Game 5 win against the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, 126-97. Victor Wembanyama came out firing on all cylinders, getting a double-double in just the first half. The Spurs poured it on as the game continued, and they went on to win in dominant fashion. Wembanyama finished the game with an absurd stat line of 27 points and 17 rebounds. With a win, the Spurs lead the series 3-2 and have the opportunity to close out the series in Minnesota on Friday night. The Texas Rangers bats were on fire against the Arizona Diamondbacks last night, winning by a score of 7-4. Jock Peterson led off the bottom of the first with a solo home run to put the Rangers up 1-0. Despite a ninth-inning rally from the Diamondbacks, the Rangers held on and won their 20th game of the season. They'll play the rubber game against Arizona today. The Houston Astros were on the opposite end of a blowout last night, losing to the Seattle Mariners 10-2. Despite 2 runs in the first 3 innings, the Astros bats once again fell under a cold spell as they picked up their 4th consecutive loss. The Astros will try to right the ship tonight as they play Game 3 of their 4-game series against the Mariners. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Adam C.
Grizzlies forward Brandon Clark dead at the age of 29 from a possible drug overdose. Stanley Cup playoffs. Golden Knights beat the Ducks 3-2 in overtime. Take a 3-2 lead in the West semis. Sabres beat the Canadiens 3-2 to even the series at 2. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather says highs today, like yesterday, like tomorrow, and then Friday and Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, mid-90s, low to mid-90s. Well, like I've said before, hey, at least it's not triple digits for a while. Maybe in a week we'll see a chance of rain again. Of course, it's a long distance from here, but we might see another nice change in weather in about a week. Let's hope it holds. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. If you're headed back to the McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh area, it's an hour at all 3 bridges. If you're headed back to Brownsville, it's an hour at Gateway, 45 minutes at the other 2. Los Indios at 30 minutes. This is the Valley's Morning News, News Talk 710 KURV, the pulse of the 956. Hope you can join us on my program tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We'll be broadcasting from the governor's Small Business Economic Summit taking place at the Mission Event Center. I want to say thank you to Joaquin Spammer, all the gang over at Rioplex Industry Recruitment at the Speed of Business. Big thank you as well to the Mission Economic Development Office, TechGlow. We'll have a chance to speak with them as well on campus. Business news. Check of your money next on 710 KURV.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment would love for you to stop by. I'm sure they got a fresh pot of coffee waiting for you right now. Stop by and visit the campus at Amigo Power. Take a look at all that beautiful orange equipment. That's Kubota orange equipment. That and the attachments will help you bring to reality all those ideas that you have for your land, putting up fences, punching holes in the ground, moving earth, chopping up stuff, whatever you need to own your land. Take ownership of your land and put those projects out there. You need Kubota. They're rugged, dependable, long-lasting equipment, hard-working equipment. That is Kubota. And at Amigo Power Equipment, now through June 30th, there are some awesome financing and savings options. Everything I mentioned here is available at gokubota.com. So you got 0% financing available if you qualify, or you could save up to $5,500 off select compact tractors. Kubota compact tractors are the number one selling compact tractor in the nation is Kubota. And you will find it today at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh.
It's another season of Houston Astros baseball on News Talk 710 KURV.
First pitch, and he drives it. Good one. It's out of here.
Your Houston Astros are back, and we've got every weeknight and weekend game. All the hits, all the home runs.
Deep to right field. At the wall. Looking out. See you later.
From pregame to postgame, catch it all season long. Right here, Astros Baseball. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. And News Talk 710 KURV.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that. And more if you're worried about things like low testosterone. Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area, call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen, 956-368-5247. That's drt'sprimarycare.com.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Traders are watching for the release of April's Producer Price Index later today. Economists polled by Dow Jones are expecting a headline increase of 0.5% on the month, which is in line with March's rate. Data drops at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Kool-Aid said it is launching electrolyte packets made without artificial dyes and sugar. Parent company Kraft Heinz is trying to reverse slumping sales by modernizing many of its iconic brands. The U.S. market for powder concentrates has exploded in recent years, thanks to the rise of single-serve electrolyte mixes. Chinese tech giant Tencent has reported revenues rose 9% in its first quarter 2026 earnings, but missed analysts' expectations. Company officials said Tencent made significant initial progress on new AI products in the first quarter. They added that Tencent's AI agent tool, WorkBuddy, was the most popular agentic service in China. Futures are mixed ahead of inflation data later this morning. Dow futures down by more than 100 points. NASDAQ futures up by more than 200 points. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says highs today, mid-90s, and expect a similar forecast for the next handful of days. Right now, temperatures 68 to 70 degrees across the valley. We got Fox News up next on 710 KURV. Update, President Trump is in Beijing. He arrived about a half hour ago. What is on the agenda? Also, update on the Iran war, status report on that. That is a couple of minutes away on the Valley's Morning News, 710 KURV. Had a sit-down conversation with my friend Brian Reed from the Ryan and Brian real estate team. So stay tuned for that. I'll get a chance to bring that to air either tomorrow or the next day. We're looking at the market. Meantime, a heads up on the Ryan and Brian real estate team. I want to thank them for their support. Man, it makes me so proud to represent excellence. The top real estate team in South Texas is the Ryan and Brian real estate team. Some folks think that, you can stick a yard sign out there, put bury a yard sign in front of the house, and that's going to take care of business. No, it's a science. It requires know-how, market know-how, marketing know-how. It requires deep connections. In this market, having a list of ready to go, ready to buy clients, and an aggressive marketing system that works. The Ryan and Brian real estate team get it done. You need a strong real estate team like the Ryan and Brian team on your side. Dylan and Isabella found out how awesome Ryan and Brian are. Jessica with the team, because of the proven marketing system and the long list of potential home buyers that they have at the Ryan and Brian team, which, by the way, routinely they sell homes quick and for the most money, they were able to sell Dylan and Isabella's home in 18 days. That is crazy fast. Oh, and by the way, Dylan and Isabella's home sold for $25,000 over asking price. That could be you, amigo. Start that conversation with the Ryan and Brian real estate team at 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's ryanandbrian.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to Ryan.
Hello, Dad.
At LSNB, we build strong foundations on values that matter.
And business practices you can rely on.
Investing in education.
Volunteering in the communities we serve.
And fueling our region's economy.
For over 40 years.
Our mission has been supporting area businesses.
We are LSNB.
Donating more money to more causes than all other area banks combined.
Here, in a place we call home. We are LSNB.
The Valley's Bank.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-939-2525. That's 800-939-2525. 800-939-2525.
Bumper to bumper information.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
The pulse of the 956. News Talk 710 KURV. Welcome to the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio for South Texas. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, Jason Caterina from AccuWeather. He's got the easy gig, man. We should put him to do something else, I don't know, sweep the floors, clean the restrooms or something around here. He's got the same forecast, like for the next 4 or 5 days. Low to mid 90s. That's the forecast from AccuWeather. Right now, temperatures 68 to 70 degrees across South Texas. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Dozens of youth at a military band playing for the arrival of President Trump in China for critical meetings with China's President Xi Jinping.
President is trying to set the tone that he is coming at this from a position of strength, not weakness. Of course, you've got the Iran conflict looming in the background of these trade talks. He wants to make sure the focus remains on trade, not Iran.
That's White House correspondent Aisha Hasni in Beijing. As for China and the Islamic Republic,
normally 40 to 50% of China's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, while the U.S. blockade remains in effect exactly 1 month today. In fact, shipping data shows Chinese-owned oil tankers passing through the Strait of Hormuz overnight with Iran's permission.
That's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson in Dubai. America's listening to Fox News.
Fourteen minutes to the hour. Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. The ACLU is hoping that a federal court will again strike down provisions of a new Texas law that gives Texas its own power on issues related to immigration.
The class action lawsuit was filed by the ACLU of Texas on behalf of migrants here legally who were afraid of being deported. Texas Senate Bill 4 gives local police the power to arrest anyone they suspect of being here illegally. It also gives state judges the power to deport them. ACLU of Texas legal director Adriana Piñon.
Laws like SB 4 are squarely unconstitutional. We've had Supreme Court precedent for over 100 years staking out immigration exclusively for the federal government.
Governor Abbott signed Senate Bill 4 into law in 2023. It was blocked twice by federal courts and once by the U.S. Supreme Court before the full Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled it could go into effect starting Friday.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Google and SpaceX. Good morning to all the SpaceX crew out there at Starbase at the coast. Well, Google and SpaceX, in the news, they're interested in perhaps developing a new system, a space-based system of data centers.
The Wall Street Journal says the orbiting facilities are not a done deal yet, and it's not clear if they would be cost-effective when launch costs are included. Word of the talks on the issue between the two companies comes as SpaceX is preparing for its IPO later this year, with a targeted valuation of around $1.75 trillion. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
And speaking of SpaceX, the next Starship launch, I believe it's number 12 for SpaceX. That would be next Tuesday evening. That's when the window opens up. The Starship V3, said to be the tallest rocket ever assembled, is expected to launch at a new pad at Starbase next Tuesday evening. And just a bit north of us in Corpus Christi, ambitious efforts to try to keep the water running.
City leaders along the coast are actively pursuing 4 seawater desalination plants as a way to avoid running out of water. Nick Winkleman, who heads the utility, says they can no longer rely on reservoirs which have dried up.
Our strategic plan is to diversify our water supply.
One of the desalination plants being considered would be owned by taxpayers, would pump out more than 21 million gallons of drinking water a day, making it one of the largest in the country. But there are growing concerns about what to do with all the salt that's removed from the water.
You're in tune with News Radio for the RGV. It's News Talk 710 KURV. Appreciate you tuning in. Yes, on the radio. Now go find us on your smartphone. Radio Para Mi is the free app. We're one of several stations at Radio Para Mi. Go find 710 KURV there. Or if there were any headlines that piqued your interest, you're curious about, go rewind. We're at 710 KURV, YouTube, 710 KURV. What else, Freddie? X and Facebook live, right? You can rewind the morning news there. This is News Talk 710 KURV, home to Astros baseball.
The eternal struggle. Too hot? Too cold? Forget about it. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC will make your home a true Goldilocks zone. Don't bear it alone when your fairy tale home feels like a nightmare gone wrong. Mighty Mike is your shining hero who will save the day with service that's not too early, not too late, but just right. Call Mighty Mike at 956-686-1353 or visit callmightymike.com. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC.
Get it right. Call Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike to the rescue.
Just one call to solve it all.
An invitation from Mark and Carla McCaleb. These are folks who are pillars in our community, and I appreciate and I'm very grateful to them that they allow me to remind you to get this done, get her done. For your immediate family, folks who have to deal with the loss and separation, we all have an expiration date. I know we don't like to think about it, but there are times that you discipline yourself. Hopefully you set yourself down and you figured out the whole life insurance thing for your immediate family. Hopefully you sat down and figured out the financials and wills, and this goes over there and this goes over here and this pays for that. Same thing with pre-planning and prepaying. I'm a fan of this. My mom and dad did this for me. I'm an only son. And with big families, you know how it is with Mexican families, both sides of the family, a whole bunch of people. And everybody's got an opinion about this, that, and the other. Well, be done with that. Get this stress monkey off of their back, your immediate family, all the immediate family, all the kids, your spouse, all those people you love so much. Pre-plan and prepay for their sake. Somebody from the McCaleb family can come to you. What you need to do is call Carla McCaleb, and they'll set up that appointment. Again, they'll go to you wherever you are in the Brownsville area, Harlingen, McAllen area. Have a sit down, be done with it. Put it on the shelf, wait on the Lord. Here's Carla McCaleb's personal number. Call or text her. Ask for that appointment. 956-650-2841. 710 KURV, the pulse of Valley Business, live this Thursday during the Sergio Show, 9 to 11 a.m. from the Mission Event Center, the Governor's Small Business Summit. We will hear from our Mission Economic Development Office and Rioplex Industry Recruitment. The event providing a variety of sessions with key insights on critical business topics for small businesses in our region. Broadcast made possible by the Mission Economic Development